Okay, so good morning, everyone. So here right now to discuss about elements of poetry. From our first PowerPoint presentation, we can see to it that we are having a discussion about elements of poetry. And everyone, we have here sound, form, sound, imagery, mood, tone, and theme. And first in our agenda is to know what is poetry all about. First one, what comes into your mind when you hear the word poetry? Poetry is a form of writing that uses not only words but also form. We have, let's say, form that includes lines and stanzas, pattern of sounds, we have rhyme, repetition, and rhythm, as well as figurative language and imagery to convey a message, tell a story, or express the author's feelings or thought. And later on, we will know what are these elements are all about. Any poems will include some or all of these elements. No, not every poem has the all elements of poetry. Some of these or all of these, as PA stated in our first PowerPoint presentation. So how do we analyze a poem? First is read through for overall meaning, circle unknown words, and look up in the dictionary just to enhance our vocabulary. So we need to research or scan a dictionary of what is the meaning of the words. Be careful, every word has a different meaning. It differs on how you use a word itself. Second, what information does the title give you? So out from the title itself, you can rather create a meaning from it. And third, read again and again and annotate for the elements of poetry. What can you see in the poem? What elements of poetry can you uh, identify? And lastly, we have read a final time to determine the theme. The theme usually later on, or not they're going to indulge that one, but a theme is a central idea of the poem, if I'm not mistaken. Let's find out. The first element of poetry that we have is the form or the structure. So a poem's form is its appearance. So basically, what you have seen using your, of course, eyes. Poems are divided into lines. Many poems, especially longer ones, may also be divided into a group of lines called stanza. Stanzas functions like paragraphs in a story. So if we have paragraph in a story or in an essay writing, stanzas is for poetry. Each one contains a single idea or takes the ideas one step further. Here an example, we have a poem. I have the question, what is the purpose of the first stanza of the Highwayman? Let's read together this poem. The wind was a torrent of darkness among the gusty trees. The moon was a ghostly galleon tossed upon cloudy seas. The road was a ribbon of moonlight over the purple moor, and the highway came riding, riding, and riding. The highwayman came riding up to the old inn door. Now, this one is called the last. I don't know if you can see this arrow that I'm currently gigamit-gamit na ako karon. But this one is called the lines in the poetry. So this one, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines, is composed with one. So now this one has become rather one stanza. Sets the scene of force. Now the form itself sets the scene. And the second one we have sound devices. Some poems use techniques of sound and rhythm, rhyme, alliteration, consonants, and assonance. These are now some of the elements of poetry. I think we have now discussed this from the elementary that we have rhyme, rhythm, no, but as we go on, we'll have much more go deeper with what are the elements of poetry. So, what is a rhyme, or rhythm rather? The pattern of beats or stresses in a poem. So, we already know that in a word we have syllables, and each of the words are then have its stress patterns. No, stress. Poems use a pattern of stressed and unstressed syllables to create a regular rhythm. And how I would say, how we're going to stressed in every word. Like, for example, if it's what do you call this one? If the word composed of 2 to 3 or more syllables. Try beating out the rhythm with a finger as you read this line. She was a child and I was a child in this kingdom by the sea, but we loved with a love that was more than love, and I Annabelle Lee. Ayun. So we have here the word she, child, which is now in broad form. I, the child, kingdom by the sea, but we loved with a love that was more than a love, and I and my Annabelle, ayun, stress. She was a child, and I was a child. How do you say those words? How do you enunciate those words in a line? Because we're talking about stress and unstressed syllable. What do you give emphasis? Like for the words here, she was a child. I, king, love, Annabelle. Ayun. There is a stressed and unstressed that creates a rhythm for poetry. Rhyme. So the rhyme is the repetition of the same or similar sound, usually in the stressed syllables at the end of the lines, but sometimes within a line. There are strange things done in the midnight sun by the men who moil for gold. Rhyme the same or similar sounds of the words done on the sun that is being uh italicized in these lines. Rhyme scheme, on the other hand, are rhyme pattern that is created at the end of lines of poetry. Mary had a little lamb, it's a fleece as a white as snow, and everywhere that Mary went, the lamb was sure to go. What do you think are uh the rhyming pattern of this stanza? If the poem does not have a rhyme, if you're not sure that snow and go goes together, if the poem does not have a rhyme scheme, it is considered to be a free verse. So we have two types of rhyme scheme, having a pattern and a free verse. When we say free verse, it does not have a rhyme scheme, which is really rampant in today's era of